everyone, welcome back to The Silver Lining here on YouTube, or welcome if you're new. I'm Sarah, and today I am back in the kitchen and I am tackling something that I've been thinking about for quite some time, but I've never really been brave enough to do it. I'm going to match up my Tupperware leftover containers and their lids and store them stacked on top of each other. This is a trick that I have been seeing from the Minimal Mom. She preaches about it all the time, and I've been interested in it for a while, but like I said, I haven't been brave enough to try it because I just have that feeling of what if I need more and I get rid of some that I wanted or whatever. Let me know in the comments below if this is something that you have already implemented and how you're liking it. If it's not something that you're wanting to try, but there is another area in your kitchen, go ahead and get started on that, and let's work together on a little bit of tiny tidying today. So I know the angles are going to be a little off, so I'm going to show you what I'm working with. Just an overview here. This is where the lids are currently being stored, and I also have two large bowls in there that go with those two back lids, and for some reason I keep them because I feel like I might use them for storage or maybe bringing a large dish to a potluck. I don't know, but I tried getting rid of them in a previous video I did where I decluttered some stuff from my container cabinets, and I ended up keeping it. So I don't know what the issue is there. And then this cabinet is the abyss that is, I'm sure you guys have them as well, the big corner cabinet. So I'm gonna go through and match the lids with the items and see how much I can pare down and how it feels. And I'll try it out for a little bit before I get rid of anything, just to see if I like it. You can probably see in here on the top shelf, I do have some casserole dishes, which there are two. I have the one stored with its lid upside down, so the other one can store on top of it. So I already am implementing the lid storage for that. The other thing, I have a flashlight in here so it's not so dark. So my salad spinner with the lid on it is stored here, and I have a big mixing bowl with a lid here. So that's what's happening in this corner. I'm not gonna pull that stuff out because it already has the lids on it and that is working. I'm leaving that in there. Also, something that you can see in there now is I have some jars. They're old salsa and pickle jars. I keep them because if you boil the lids, you can actually get them to reseal. So in the event that I am canning something, then I will reach for those jars. And also, I do sometimes use them for leftovers if it's something really hot. So I'll keep those in there. They all have their lids. I also have a cake plate back here with the lid, and the other ones over here are 9x13 and 9x9 dishes. I'm gonna pull those out because I do have some lids for those. So let's keep going. This one doesn't have a lid, but I am keeping it. I'm just going to put it in on top of the other one that does have a lid. And I do have a loaf pan that I'm also keeping, even though it doesn't have a lid. So this is already looking a little bit better, and I feel like it'll be easier for me to grab those items because they have the lids on them. Okay, this process definitely makes me look at my containers differently. This is a pile here that I'm probably getting rid of. This larger stack we do use occasionally, but I don't think they would fit with their lids. These two larger containers are probably gonna go because now that I have these all stacked up, I don't think that I would take anything larger to a potluck. And then this stack here, I have so many of these like smaller size, which is generally the size that I grab for. So I just need to reevaluate that a little bit. But like I said, I don't think I'm getting rid of anything just yet. I may quarantine things a little bit first just to see if it's something that I reach for. Okay, so like I said, this stack of bowls here, this large one is actually a cake container. So this is the bottom, but we do use it we use it as a bowl, turned upside down and use the bowl. So the lid stays underneath of it in the cabinet, so leave that. This is a big popcorn bowl that I just got from my mom at Christmas. I really like it. These two bowls don't have lids, and this strainer, I think I've used it a few times. I'm gonna keep that. These two bowls can maybe go away for a little while just to see if I need them. But these two will be stored back in here. This big lid I'll just put with this other lid. So I have the lids for them, but they're still stacked inside of each other because it's not very tall in here. So I'm keeping these bowls too. I'm keeping this whole stack. This is not a decluttering video. This is a tiny. So I'm just keeping those, but I'm repositioning the lids a little bit. Okay, now this size bowl, you did probably notice that I put a few containers like this back in our cabinet. I think I'm gonna give these back to my mom. She has these because where she works has these as to-go containers. So I'm probably gonna take the lids off, stack them back up, and bring them back to her so she has them. She likes to send leftovers home with us in them, so they're disposable. We don't have to return them, but I'm gonna go ahead and give those back to her, so that will clear up some space. Plus, these two sizes are similar to the other containers that I have, so that is a decision made. This little container, I don't think I've ever used. Like, we don't need to lock in our leftovers typically, so I am gonna see if anyone else wants this before I get rid of it. Okay, so I've got these stacked up. Excuse the flashlight. These stayed the same. This is a mixing bowl. I use that all the time. I keep that in there. There's a few containers stacked up behind there and all my large bowls. And then I stacked up here on the bottom. So I'm actually not taking up any extra room, but everything has its lid on it and is all organized inside. So here's my stash of containers that are being relocated or quote unquote quarantined for a little while to see if I miss any of them, but ultimately probably donated. Now here are the two large bins that housed all of the lids before. I have space in here. This is the aluminum water bottles that keep your drinks really cold that we use. The kids bring them to school. We use them for ball games and that kind of thing. So I think I'm going to keep one of these bins and put these cups inside of there so that they are contained and they don't fall over when I open the cabinet. That's not perfect, but it's definitely better, and it frees up this space in here. That's now the underneath of the cabinet. I've got the cups here, and over here I have my toolbox and some cleaning stuff, and that all tucks in there. All the water bottles are contained, albeit they're shoved in there, but at least they are contained and they're not going to fall over when I open the cabinet. So now that feels much better, much more manageable, and I still have this container if I needed it by chance. All right, so far so good. I just need to move this stack of containers elsewhere and I'll see how it goes. It seems like it's gonna be something that's really gonna be functional. I'm excited to have it done and try it out for a while and see if it's something that I like in my cabinet. Thank you guys again for being here and watching today as I tiny tidy this little cabinet in my kitchen. I hope it offered some motivation to you, some inspiration to maybe try something that you've been wanting to try, clear out a space that you've been meaning to clear out for a while. If you're looking for a little bit more motivation, check out the playlist. It'll be linked below, and check out all of the other tiny tidiers on the Tiny Tidy team. I always feel like I have to say it so slow, otherwise I'll get tongue-tied. Thank you again to Sunday Dawn. Check out her channel, The Helpful Home. She is the mastermind behind this playlist and this series, and she has been so welcoming, and I just love being a part of this community of tidiers. And I'm excited to be back next week. So make sure that you are subscribed to my channel before you leave so that you don't miss another one of my videos.